Oh no, I gotta come back to the real world. Oh, that was hard. Coming back to the real world. Having to tell you guys what's really going on now. But I have to. Sometimes you want to just stay in virtual world forever. But we all know what's going on in the housing market. So let's get it. Hey everybody, it's Eric. I'm out here in Las Vegas talking to you about what's going on in the world. And it doesn't matter if you're in Las Vegas, Los Angeles, or New York City. We all know that the housing market has gotten just a little bit ridiculous now. So I want to go ahead and talk to you about what happened for this weekend as I was going through. My last video, I talked about how the interest rates were going up, hoping that would put a little shock to the system. It didn't seem to. Hopefully YouTube's allowing me to do these little cards now. If so, it's up there. If not, they didn't allow it. So here's what's going on. Went out this weekend to see some houses. Put in offers on houses. You don't see any joy in my face, do you? So we're gonna have some tales. So first of all, I want to show you this little video. Okay, I really wanted to show folks this house here. It is just gorgeous. And you know what? It is going to sell for way more than they're asking. And here's why. It's what I keep telling folks. The house itself, they listed it for below what it's worth. Now, I've been showing folks how this works. When you list a house for below what it's worth, you're going to have a bunch of action because people believe they're going to get a bargain. So they're going to flood into your house, they're going to make offers, and then it becomes like eBay. They are going to just start going like crazy. They're going to go absolutely nuts, and then they're going to go besides themselves, and they're going to want the house even more. You know what's going to happen next? It bids up and up and up. This house has only been on the market a couple of hours. Within an hour of it being listed, I was able to go into the system because even though it's completely vacant, they put it on a system called showing time for people to make appointments. Don't know why. I think it was to create something. Here's what happened. Within an hour or so of it being listed, there were already 3 appointments to see the house. 3 within an hour of it being listed. Oh, by the way, this is at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. That's because everyone's coming out to get a house in a great neighborhood. They think it's going to be a bargain. I guarantee you there is going to be 20 offers on this thing by the end of this weekend. That's because they did the right thing. So the folks who overprice their homes, saying no one's going to steal my house, guess what they're doing? They're not selling their house because it's still on the market. Because people don't see any value in it. Doesn't matter how nice it is, they're going, oh, they want too much. There's this thing, and it's actually negotiating. If you go back to any kind of negotiations, like FBI hostage negotiations they teach in law school, because the original negotiations programs comes out of Harvard Law. There's what's known as negotiation range. If you go outside of negotiation range, no one's willing to negotiate. That's what happens when you overprice your home, people. So this person, guarantee you, this house is not only going to sell, it's going to sell with multiple offers. Not only that, it's going to sell for more than list, more than it's worth, and someone's going to waive the appraisal on it. So I can only tell you what's working in the market right now. Okay? See you guys. Back from the video. See what I was talking about? So let's talk about that. We put an offer in on that house. Now, it was right priced. Matter of fact, it was just a smidge under the right price. And oh my goodness, it was the eBay effect, just like I said. I don't know how many offers it got on it. Here's what I do know. The agent almost had to pull his hair out. Oh, we're just going to take the offers. My client's going to look at them today. We're going to respond to you guys tomorrow. No response the next day. No response the next night. Contact was like, the offers just keep coming in. They just keep coming in. By the way, we put in an offer that was way above listing. Way above. Way above. We still didn't get it.
Oh, man.
Remember, the offers just kept coming in and coming in and coming in and coming in. Well, he did tell me, didn't give me the number, but the house, he said it sold way above the list price. Another house, go to, didn't make an offer on it. It was priced right at where it needed to be, right at. Now this one I had a little bit of intel on. Knew the agent. Hopefully I was hoping the agent was going to tell me a little bit of intel because, didn't bid on it or anything. So after it was all over. Multiple offers, of course. I'll tell you how many, since we don't know which house it is. 18. 18 offers. Two days on the market. Matter of fact, I was wondering where it was. I'm trying to look for it in the system. It was off the market. And I'm like, what? Because they had to stop and take it off the market because they were getting so many offers. Sold for $25,000 over list price. Remember, it was properly listed at the proper price. If it was an appraiser were to come out tomorrow, that's the price it was going to appraise at, where it was listed. Waived appraisal up to 15 over appraisal. Here's a tale of the third little pig. Go to a house. Most gorgeous house I have ever seen in all my years of real estate. I've been in real estate a few years now. More than 5. Seen a lot of houses. Everything from hovels to things literally with holes in the roofs to mansions. This was the most pristine house I've ever seen. It was the belle of the ball in the middle of a normal neighborhood. Oh my goodness, everything was pristine. And they overpriced it. Probably because they felt it was the belle of the ball. That house is still sitting there. That was the moral of the story. Because no one wants to do it. As a matter of fact, the amount it was overpriced was less than those other 2 houses that were not the belle of the ball, that needed work. As a matter of fact, the one where we didn't bid on it was because it needed some work. And the client was like, well, I don't want to do that much work before moving into the house. It needed work. My client didn't want to do the work. Still sold for $25,000 over. That house was about $25,000 over and was absolutely perfect. No one bid on it. No one cared. So for all those house sellers out there who keep going, no one's going to steal my house and I'm going to get every penny out of it. That's what happens. Now, I'll be honest, I lose a lot of business because I try to tell people the truth and they don't want to hear it. And these other agents, when they do the buying the listing, they're hoping to lower the price eventually to get it where it sells. So, like I told you, the one, I'm actually closing on one Thursday where they did the same thing, kept it too high for too long, and now we're getting a great house when it probably would have gone for multiple bids. So good for my client. For the buyers out there, these are things you need to do. I've said this before. You're now entering the spring season. I may be cutting my own throat, especially here in the market, but nationwide, you need to start looking at this. Places nobody else wants to go because they can't get out of their own head. You got to think outside of the box. Hang the box. Kick the box. Where's nobody else at? Those houses they can't get into. There are houses on the market that, for some odd reason, are perfectly good houses you don't want to go to. The ones that have tenants in them where the tenants don't want anyone tramping through the house. They want to, they have a right to say, I don't want anyone seeing the house. They have that right in most states. Some states, they don't have that right. Here, they have that right. So, you're still allowed to bid on the house, or else it wouldn't be on the market. So, once there's an accepted offer, those rights are gone. All you got to do is put an offer on the house, but people keep going like, I have to see the house first. Why? They're pictures. If they're not pictures, who cares? If it's in the neighborhood you want, and from the exterior that you think it may be a decent house, you can look at the old pictures, because most houses go through real estate agents. You can find the old pictures. If it's the layout you want, put a bid in on it. Because guess what? You don't have to leave a deposit until you see it. Go into it and go like, oh, I don't like this. Walk out. You're done. Do you want to see houses all day long? Put in bids, wait 3 days, wait for them to go like, oh, more bids are coming in. I don't want to do this anymore. Oh, more bids. And now you got to wait a week, and then you don't get it because they had 25 offers. When you can go where no one's going. Red ocean, blue ocean. Go where no one's fishing. That's where no one's fishing, except for smart people. So, here's another one. Remember that house that was overpriced, that was pristine? It's going to be on the market. Unless they change the price, it's going to be on the market next weekend. It's going to be on the market the weekend after that. And possibly the weekend after that, until someone smart comes along and goes, oh, what about this? They're probably desperate now, so maybe I'll put an offer in. See, because you have to get out of your own head. If you understand negotiations, negotiations actually started through the law profession, and a lot of negotiations that are done now are at the Harvard School of Business. And there's actually like negotiations courses. I actually went through a negotiations course for CNE. It's not a brag or anything. I'm just saying this is where I learned this from. There's actually this thing called negotiations range. And once you get outside of a certain range, people aren't even willing to negotiate with you. That's why when you see these houses that sit on the market, people don't even put bids in on them, even though they could. It's like, well, the owner's not going to accept it, so I'm not going to waste my time. Waste your time. What is an electronic bite? It's all electronic now. Your agent would love just to see the forward movement. You've put in an offer. What if it's rejected? Boo-hoo. So here's the one thing I have to say to you. Look at this next video. I'm telling you, it's going to really help you out. And then subscribe below. because I really want this YouTube algorithm to pick this up. See y'all.